One of the parts of your car that you are least likely to think about on a daily basis is the oil pump. It is essential to replace it as soon as possible, though, if it ceases to function properly. However, how can you tell if your oil pump is malfunctioning and what is the likely cost of replacing it? In this short video, we will explain all you need to know about the failing oil pump symptoms and its replacement cost. It's the Car Problems YouTube channel. Subscribe and let's get started. Oil pressure warning light. Since your oil pump is what forces pressure into your oil system, it makes sense that as it begins to malfunction, the oil pressure in your car will decrease. Remember that it's more likely that you'll have low oil pressure than no oil pressure because it's unlikely that the entire oil pump will fail at once. Your engine ought to have an oil pressure warning light if it lacks an oil pressure gauge. This light is an alert that indicates when to stop driving. Low oil pressure can cause serious engine damage very quickly, which could end up costing you thousands of dollars. You should not drive your car, not even to the mechanic's shop, until the source of your low oil pressure is fixed. Rather, choose to be towed. Engine noises. If the oil pump fails, your engine may be making noises in a few different places. Although the oil pump itself is one of the most frequent sites, noises originating from the valve train are also frequently heard. Without oil, there would be metal rubbing against metal without any lubrication in the valve train. Oil keeps everything lubricated. This will not only cause damage quickly, but it will also make terrible noises. Increased engine temperature. An increase in engine temperature is one of the first signs that your car's oil pump isn't doing its job of circulating the oil throughout the engine. If you drive with a malfunctioning oil pump, your engine will overheat even though there should be other symptoms as well, such as engine noise or an oil pressure warning light. The vehicle won't start. A low oil pressure switch is a common feature of modern cars and is connected directly to the ignition. This switch may prevent your engine from starting altogether if it determines that your oil pump isn't operating properly. This serves as a safeguard to keep your engine safe while you try to diagnose the problem. It's a safety feature meant to shield you from yourself, as many drivers attempt to limp their cars to the shop when they have issues, which can result in thousands of dollars worth of repairs due to low oil pressure. But almost always the low oil pressure switch that prevents your engine from starting is limited to newer cars. Therefore, you'll need to take preventative measures on your own if you drive an older vehicle to avoid engine damage. You may need to have your engine replaced if you have been driving with low oil pressure for an extended period of time to the point where your engine has stopped and won't start again. How to check. Connecting a manual oil pressure gauge and checking the oil pressure is the simplest method of ensuring that an automobile oil pump is operating properly. Checking the oil pressure is usually sufficient because it can be quite an undertaking to get to the oil pump for a visual inspection. Replacement cost. The typical cost of replacing an oil pump ranges from $300 to $2,500, depending on the type of vehicle and labor expenses. Aim for parts costs of $100 to $500 and labor costs of $200 to $2,000. The price to replace an oil pump can vary slightly. To begin with, you will require a new oil pump, which can cost between $50 and $150. But you'll also probably need a new front main gasket as well as a new oil pan gasket. You may find yourself needing to replace every gasket involved in a top-end rebuild, depending on how the front main was designed by the manufacturer. You will most likely wind up spending between $150 and $200 on gaskets alone because the cost of all these various gaskets adds up. After that, new coolant will be required if you have to remove the front main seal in addition to new oil and an oil filter. The additional cost of these two fluids is between $100 and $150. Lastly, you will have to factor in all of the labor involved in this. Since the quantity of parts you'll need to remove varies depending on the vehicle, this can also vary. As a result, a mechanic's time to finish the repairs will usually take 4 to 8 hours. This still leaves a fairly wide range of prices, from $200 to $800. Just keep in mind that doing the labor yourself will save you more money the more complicated the task is, but it will also cause you more headaches. Hope the information was helpful. If so, please press the like button and subscribe to the channel.